Hey, thanks so much for finding the video. Do us a favor. If you haven't done so yet, please subscribe. Be sure to leave your comment. We love to interact. Enjoy the video. Yesterday, we talked about how the Saints reportedly made a play to get into the top 15 to select Mac Jones at quarterback. My point was not so much that they were in love with Mac Jones, because if they were, they would have traded whatever asset necessary to get that guy if they felt like he were worth it. If there were a fair deal that they thought was worthy of the value, they would have done it. The underlying point, however, is that the Saints continue to pursue avenues to add to their quarterback room. And I'm very much in favor of that. Y'all know how I feel about Jameis Winston. I hope it works. There's a lot of reason to believe it will. Certainly not a guarantee. So if you have an opportunity to upgrade that quarterback room, do it. I think we could all agree that Aaron Rodgers would absolutely be an upgrade. He's the reigning MVP. And the guy who knows a lot about Aaron Rodgers is Brett Favre. Did I say Rodgers or did I say Favre? I said Favre? I don't know. If they could add Rodgers. Brett Favre, Rodgers' predecessor, was on a radio show on 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee. Now, Muse, help me pronounce the name of this radio show, please.
It's pronounced Wildy and Tausch.
Wildy and Tausch.
Wildy and Tausch.
Just a bit of advice to Wildy and Tausch. Take it from someone who has an awful hard-to-pronounce last name. Don't name your show after your awful hard-to-pronounce last name, because everyone's going to screw it up. Something easy like After Further Review that you could then shorten to 3 letters, AFR, that nobody could really screw up. Except some people do screw up the preposition. I get upon further review a lot. I'm like, no. You see, it's an acronym, AFR. Upon starts with a U. If the show was UFR, then you would call it upon further review. But maybe people just screw things up all the time. I digress. What are they called again, Muse, this show?
Wildy and Tausch.
Okay, so Brett Favre was a guest on Wildy and Tausch, 94.5 ESPN in Milwaukee. And Brett Favre went on record saying he does not believe that Aaron Rodgers will be back in Milwaukee, in Green Bay.
I think I know Aaron fairly well. And honestly, I just don't see him coming back and just saying, all right, let's bury the hatchet, whatever caused the rift. I'm just going to come back and play, because I love the guys. I love the Green Bay fans. I assume that he does. But his rift isn't with the fans nor the players. It's with the front office, So will he just swallow his pride and come in? Maybe. But I don't see that happening. If there's not a trade, my gut tells me that he'd rather sit out than play.
I would like to remind you, as absurd as that may sound, that Aaron Rodgers, the reigning MVP, would sit out of an NFL season or hold out. I would like to remind you that this man does not even speak to his family. They are estranged. And that's very sad. Outside looking in, I don't know all the particulars, but Aaron Rodgers has no relationship with his biological family. If you're someone who is so hardened, so strong-willed, that you will cut off communication with your family, I don't think it's unrealistic that Aaron Rodgers would sit out of an NFL season based on principle. He could go be the host of Jeopardy. But the reason this is relevant here is because in that same interview with, what are they called again, Muse?
Wildy and Tausch.
On 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee, Brett Favre did bring up the Saints in communications with Aaron Rodgers.
Without watching any TV or talking to anyone involved in the situation, either side, I just sent Aaron a message and said, hey, am I going to see you playing for the Saints this year? Just kind of joking. And he sent back, hey, buddy, I don't believe that's going to happen.
I want to remind you that Brett Favre grew up in Kill, Mississippi. Many of you know that. Hop, skip, and a jump from New Orleans. Grew up a Saints fan. Would still obviously have a rooting interest for the New Orleans Saints. And we did talk on Thursday when I told you that the Saints did have contact, even indirectly, with Rodgers or the Packers. I'm not necessarily telling you I think that it is a certainty or even a high probability or likelihood that Aaron Rodgers would end up in New Orleans. But what I can tell you is that if you're the New Orleans Saints, you absolutely make this phone call. You absolutely put together as intriguing a package for the Green Bay Packers as you can. Now, financially, this doesn't make a lot of sense for Green Bay. Rodgers has a $38 million dead cap hit for 2020, meaning if he's not on the roster, he costs $38 million against the salary cap in a year where the salary cap is reduced. To not have the reigning MVP on your team cost you $38 million seems steep. For what it's worth, if he is traded or released post-June 1, that number is reduced to $21 million. So it would be a $16 million cap savings. And Green Bay does have an out after the 2021 season, at which point they could see that dead cap number fall to $2 million. So financially, it would make way more sense for Green Bay to move on from Aaron Rodgers after this season, play the 2021 season, then next June, move on from Aaron Rodgers. Financially, that's what would make the most sense. I'll remind you, though, the Eagles swallowed $33.8 million on the Carson Wentz deal. But that's Carson Wentz, and he stinks. This is Aaron Rodgers, and he's the MVP. You have two sides that seem very determined, pulling in opposite directions. Which side wins, we shall see. But if Aaron Rodgers has Brett Favre whispering in his ear, I wouldn't put it past him. You're the Saints. You do your best to make that happen. Hey, thanks so much for watching. Please leave your comments. I love to interact. And be sure to hit the red subscribe button below.